I wanted to talk about EVO Online and the CPT 2020 changes. For the most part, I want to talk about the EVO. No, for the most part, I want to talk about the CPT changes because those are like they just got in and we just figured out what they're going to be doing, which is interesting. But let's start off with the EVO news, I guess. We're going to be starting off with this picture right here. I guess the most controversial thing that happened was getting rid of Smash Ultimate for EVO Online. EVO Online, I've talked a little bit about it already, where I said EVO Online, like, it's just not really EVO. It's something different, right? So I feel like the change that they incorporated is supposed to reflect that, and I really like that. So they got rid of Smash Ultimate because of the online. At least I think that's why they got rid of it. And I'm very happy about that. I think that would have been a disaster. And if anything, I think like EVO, or like if anything good came out of COVID-19 is the fact that trashy online experiences for fighting games, if you did not put in the time and effort to work on the netcode of your game, then you're getting punished right now. I think if anything, it's gonna make it so that future titles are gonna be like the focus has never, like, especially with Nintendo. It's kind of sad with Nintendo in particular. Nintendo just does not care about the online, and that's sad. Smash Ultimate is also on a platform where having a wired connection is actually not that easy, so I don't even really blame them for not caring too much about it. Most people will be playing Wi-Fi anyways. And even on the PlayStation 4 we have this problem, right? On the casual end, people will be playing on Wi-Fi, guaranteed. So yeah, that's a problem we'll probably never get rid of. But at the same time, having good online, if you have a good netcode, this will be a big advantage for you this year. And I hope for the future it will inspire developers to work on better netcodes as a result, because it is possible. Like, you don't have, if you push for delayed based netcode in 2020, then like you deserve to get some like bad PR as a result. So yeah, as a result, Smash Ultimate got cut, and I think everybody's happy about that. I'm a Smash fan, by the way. I play Melee. But I think even how it doesn't really matter how successful Smash Ultimate is, if the online is as bad as people report it to be, then it'll just ultimately fail, right? So it's a good choice to get rid of it. So yeah, there are a couple of interesting side events apparently. Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct is gonna make a comeback. What is it called again, this other game? Them's Fighting Herds or something like that? Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of that. I find it hilarious that game made it into like the official lineup. I'm not sure. I think this is like a side event or something like that, right? Like Mortal Kombat 11 and a couple of others are a little bit of like side events. But yeah, in any case, I think it's important to point out that if you win EVO this year, it's simply not going to be the same thing. But at the same time, we're going to have every single weekend in July is going to be pretty hype, because there's going to be some awesome online tournament action going on. And if anything, it's a new experiment, so I think it'll keep people entertained while they're at home. So that's, no matter how you look at it, it's a good thing. Even though, like, it originally I thought was going to end up being a bad thing, simply because it's not really EVO. It's simply not EVO if you have it online, because the whole idea of EVO is to be international and that like everybody's competing. It's like the biggest stage and stuff like that, and that gets rid. Like, EVO Online gets rid of that entirely, and they have to. There's no choice. It's just not the same thing. So yeah, I wanted to keep this brief. That's basically all I want to say on EVO Online. We'll just have to wait and see. There are a couple of things that I can't really get into too much because of the, like, Marvel 2. I have no idea. There was going to be Marvel 2 at EVO. It's a shame it's not going to happen, but yeah, maybe next year. We'll have to wait and see. That being said, let's talk about CPT 2020 changes, because those are pretty significant. So everything will be online. And that's pretty huge. And at the same time, it's kind of funny because I literally have no excuse when I tell you guys I'm not gonna go I'm not gonna go to a CPT event, right? I have no excuse anymore, right? So it's kind of interesting because this year will be the first year where I'll be participating in all of the CPT events. And when I say all of the CPT events, what I mean by that, it's 2 events. So yeah, here you can see this right there. The first tournament that I'll be able to participate in is in July. There's 1 tournament for my region. So it's split up in regions, in 8 regions. No, 9 regions. 9 regions? 10 regions? I think something like that. Europe West, I'm part of Europe West. I kind of feel bad for Europe East and Middle East because Norway will be playing against like the Arabic countries, which is crazy. I can't even imagine how that's supposed to work, but okay, unfortunately, it's not my problem. I'm in the Europe West block, which is going to be okay. There are a couple of things that I'm not happy about there as well, but it's fine. It's fine. So in July, you're going to see me play in the Europe West 1 tournament. And yeah, here's what's going to happen then. So as you can see, like in June, there's not going to be a tournament. In August, there's not going to be a tournament. In September, there's not going to be a tournament. So damn, that's like a big break. But in October, yeah, in October, there's Europe West 2. That's when I'll be participating in the 2nd tournament. And that's all there is to do. If you're from Germany, that's what you can do. 2 tournaments, that's it. And that's really true for any other region as well, as far as I can tell, which is really a low number. And I can't imagine how this is gonna work very well. I'm excited to be able to at least play all the tournaments this time around, right? But yeah, this is basically the picture. That is also kind of interesting that I want to talk about. So I'll be at all of the CPT events, 2 of them online. If I happen to do well at them, I can qualify for Capcom Cup, which is hilarious. But take a look at this, okay? 18 players qualify from these online tournaments. Now keep in mind, there are like 10 regions, right? So about 2 players qualify per region. And there are apparently 2 regions where only 1 person qualifies. At least that's how I see it. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But as far as I can tell, from Europe West, there are only 2 competitors that will qualify, which is going to be a major. Like these tournaments, I can tell you that people won't take them that seriously from like a competitive standpoint, but the hype around these tournaments is going to be huge. Because whoever wins one of these European tournaments events is basically qualified for Capcom Cup. That's pretty huge. So I better do my best at those events. And then we have slot number 19 for Capcom Cup, be the Capcom Cup 2019 champion IDOM, right? So those are 19 players. And then like the third part is really where it gets curious, right? There are only 20 players for Capcom Cup this year. So the last person to qualify is going to be like voted in by the community. Fan favorite from the Capcom Cup 2019 top 31. So there's going to be a massive vote, apparently at the very end, about like the last, like there's going to be at least 11 players who are from Capcom Cup 2019 who won't qualify, right? Which really shows you a problem in this entire process where, like, there just aren't enough slots. Like even top level players will not be able to qualify properly because there's no proper way to qualify. Essentially, it's going to be quite interesting to see that play out. And on top of that, there's going to be one player, and this is something I'm not sure if I like, to be honest. There's going to be some player who's going to be able to basically, whoever begs for the most votes online is going to make it into Capcom Cup. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, to be honest, because this is something that happens on Smash GG sometimes, right? When there are like big events and you can qualify by getting votes in, right? And it's never about like who deserves to get in there. It's all about who can make the most fuzz online about it, and who has the biggest reach on Twitter, for example. And that bothers me, really, that it's not about like there's no proper way for like the whoever makes it in there. I don't know, it won't feel that great, to be honest. I don't like this idea of voting people into a tournament, because it's all about who has the most social reach, who has the most who makes the biggest fuzz and about it gets in there, and that's just sad, honestly. It's free promotion for Capcom. I understand why they're doing it. It's definitely free promotion for Capcom Cup, but that does not mean it's a good idea, honestly. Taking a look at it, it just seems like it seems kind of petty, and I can't even imagine if you're like one of those top competitors that's not going to make it into Capcom Cup this year, and you're like all of a sudden you're being put in a situation where you have to beg people online to vote for you. Like, it's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. But at the same time, I understand why they're doing it. It'll push the event even harder, right? But yeah, Jimmy started begging. I'm not one of those votes. Like, I'd have to be only qualifiers from Capcom Cup 2019 are going to be in there. You can't vote me in. I'm not one of the eligible people you can vote in. We will find a way. Man, I was just about to say, let's just collect our votes for someone like Alex Leather. I'd be totally on board with that, honestly. I'd start my own campaign to get Alex Leather in Capcom Cup 2020. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Isn't the vote just for 2019 Capcom Cup participants? Yes. I know. So we can't do that, unfortunately. But it would be hilarious if they changed that rule. I would absolutely vote for Alex Leather. Yeah, and he already beat NL in ranked, right? Alex Leather beat NL when NL was in Europe for some kind of tournament. He played online, apparently, and he met Alex Leather, and Alex beat him 2-0 in online ranked. I love that. I love that. Yeah, but unfortunately, we cannot vote him in. That's quite unfortunate, but it's just not going to happen. But yeah, those are essentially my thoughts on this whole situation around CPT 2020. I'm kind of excited to be able to participate in the online stuff, but at the same time, it's just this year's Capcom Cup or this year's CPT is just going to be very different, and yeah, it's just different. But at the same time, it's kind of interesting, right? Because it gives us some hype content at the very least. So in July, there's going to be a tournament that I'm going to be preparing for, and we'll have streams where I'm going to be a little bit more dedicated on just trying to get the top-notch, or like trying to get to like the best quality of Ryu out there, like that I can offer, and I'll put some effort into making sure I'll be at least a bit prepared, right? That would be awesome to see. So yeah, I thought this year is basically canceled, but particularly for me as a content creator, it turns out the CPT 2020 is even more interesting than anything before that, I guess. But yeah, that's basically it for today. I'm gonna have to leave. Those are all my thoughts for now. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe there's going to be some change in certain rules. I doubt it, but yeah, should be interesting. We're gonna have a couple of streams where we're gonna be actively preparing for the CPT events, and who knows? Maybe I'll qualify for Capcom Cup this year. That's not gonna happen. Probably not. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.